All right, now this is cool. Check it out. Chennedy Carter checking into the game for the Chicago Sky and receiving a big ovation from the crowd. And I like seeing the fans behind her. I like seeing the fans embracing this identity for the Chicago Sky. Because look, what Chennedy Carter did to Caitlin Clark was uncalled for, no question, uncalled for. But it's also not the end of the world. And she came in there and she scored for them in that game. And there is something about that bad boy persona, bad girl persona that I'm sure the fans can rally around. And it extends to Angel Reese a little bit as well, right? Like Angel Reese has been protecting Carter in the press conferences. You know, she has been speaking her mind out there. In fact, she even went on to say that she, embraces the villain role and she'll take the villain role. Now, that came with an ejection in the game against the Liberty. She was thrown out of the game, something that people didn't exactly agree with. I mean, Lonzo Ball even offered to pay for her fine. And Angel and Lonzo went back and forth about that because he was at the game. I think he said it was his first WNBA game as well. And plenty of people were curious as to why exactly Angel got thrown out of the game, given it seemed she said something was BS, and then like she did a hand gesture to the ref. But even Sabrina Ionescu was like, she got thrown out for that. So perhaps it was a little bit OD, a little bit extra. And, Angel Reese could argue, you could argue she's been the subject of some targeting as well. That, she has, got thrown down by her neck in the one play. And on top of that, now is ejected for something that was relatively soft, all things considered. All things considered. And here was the coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, the Sky coach, after the game, talking about the ejection and what she thought of it.
What was your view of the technicals, I guess, and the ejection? And did anybody tell you what the reasoning for it was?
I tried to get an explanation. I did not. I don't know to this moment what has happened.
After the game, again, the ref said that Angel said something disrespectful and then waved them off. So I guess they're saying disrespected them in that regard. But that only helps the Chicago Sky, I think, embrace that sort of persona that you saw the cheering about. And that's all well and good. That's all well and good. In the grand scheme of things, no one will remember this, a couple weeks from now, maybe even a couple days from now. And Angel Reese, it happens to come right after she made those comments about it's not just Caitlin, it's me, it's us as well in the league, the WNBA, the ones that were everywhere, of course, and that I talked about. But that's not the issue with Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. The issue is Angel needs to make layups. It is now becoming, I think, an issue, a problem. I've said this before, she is fantastic with her motor, with her defensive ability, both as a primary defender and help defender. She is unbelievable on the offensive boards. Unbelievable. On the chasing down the ball, all those things. She has the ability to go to another level. But the problem, even with the level she's at right now, is that too many of her shots are close to the basket for her to be shooting the percentage that she's shooting. Angel's shooting like 30-something% from the floor right now. And under 30% from 3 to 10 feet, according to Basketball Reference. And I'm starting to get to the point when I watch the game where I'm like, she's going to miss this. She's going to miss this bunny. Because there was one play where she had a sweet dribble drive and finished. And if she can do that, because she has the skills with the ball in her hands. This is the play I'm talking about. Let me see if I can pull it up and do a couple screen grabs for you. She has the ball. She gets the ball up top on this play. There she is. And faces up her defender. Ball fake. Puts it on the floor. Crossover. Goes by. And finishes at the cup. So she has the talent. The talent is there. But she really needs to almost Mike and drill it. Work on that layup package. You know, because she's just missing too many bunnies around the basket. And her layups come from really down low a lot of times. So I'm starting to see it online when her stats get posted and the like, people talking about the percentage that she's shooting. And again, it's different than, say, I'm not trying to bring up Caitlin Clark. I'm just using it as an example. It's different than, say, Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, is shooting a better percentage from the floor, but is also taking more difficult shots from further away. Taking more difficult shots from further away. And it's just way too often that I'm seeing Angel missing right point blank. Because, I mean, her point total could be way higher. I mean, she would have a legitimate case, I think, for Rookie of the Year if she was finishing at 40 to 50%, especially given the shots that she's taking and the looks that she's getting. The Sky got beat by the Liberty, of course, who are just a great team. I mean, Breanna Stewart lit them up in this one, as did Sabrina Ionescu. That pairing along with Jonquel Jones is just something to behold. Because Breanna Stewart, I mean, look at the numbers she put up on that Sky front court. 33 points, 14 boards. Breanna is a real true hooper. I mean, it's the reason she won MVP. And the Liberty might be the most impressive team I've seen so far this year. But I am pleased with the identity that the Chicago Sky are developing. I hold no ill will towards Chennedy Carter. I'm glad to see she went off. And in fact, I mean, she had a bunch of points by halftime in that game. She could play. She could score, right? And she's become a bigger star because of what happened with Caitlin Clark. But she was in double figures, in the first half. I think almost up to 20 points in the first half. And, with Angel, there's that vibe too, where she ain't afraid to speak her mind, which is great. I love that about her. But she's got to finish at the rim in order to justify what she believes about her being, one of the faces of the women's game going forward. Of course she is now, but going forward, she's going to have to hit some layups.